Trading the foreign exchange market carries high risk and may not be suitable for all investors trading on margin. Utilizing leverage can carry an even higher level of risk that can lead to a complete loss of investment funds. So before deciding to trade the foreign exchange market or using any of our software alert products, you should carefully and diligently consider your personal investment objectives, level of experience, and risk tolerance. There is a possibility that you could potentially sustain significant loss. You should not invest any capital or trade that you cannot afford to lose. It is your responsibility to be aware of and understand all risks associated with foreign exchange trading and to seek professional advice from an independent certified financial advisor if you have any doubts. Auvoria Prime does not exercise trading authority over your trades. You and you alone exercise discretionary trading authority over every trade.
All right. Good morning. So this is the Hawkeye session. It's Wednesday, January 6th, 2021. And we're just going to go and get the disclaimers out of the way before we start looking at some potential trade setups. So trading the foreign exchange on margin carries a high level of risk and may not be suitable for all investors. The high degree of leverage can work against you as well as for you. Before deciding to invest in foreign exchange, you should carefully consider your investment objectives, your level of experience, and your risk appetite. The possibility exists that you could sustain a loss of all or some of your initial investment and therefore should not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. You should be aware of all the risks associated with foreign exchange trading and seek advice from an independent financial advisor if you have any doubts about what you're doing. This is a live trading room and it's for educational purposes exclusively. No financial advice or recommendations are provided in this room. Any trade taken during this live session is not a recommendation or a suggestion that you should also do the same. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Do not trade money that you cannot afford to lose. And before trading live, always operate with a written trade plan that identifies the rules for entries, exits, and targets. Let's take a quick look at some charts because right now we don't have any AIRIS alerts. We're looking into it to find out why we haven't received any alerts in the last little bit. But in the meanwhile, I will take this down here. Hold on a second. Let's close this down since we're done with that splash screen. And we'll bring up the charts. We'll make it super simple. So if you have any questions, just please put them in the Q&A section. And we will address them as we go. So I'm actually, here's what I'm doing. This is our Aero software. I've got it running on 25 currency pairs on the 30-minute chart. This is a pretty significantly different than any of the strategies right now that are being taught, but it has worked really well for me thus far, and it's probably going to continue because what I've found is this morning we can go and I'm going to put my phone on silence. Sorry about that. So right here, experts, I can go back and see some of the alerts that we had this morning. Now I've already entered 2 trades this morning based on the criteria that I'm going to show you. I'm just trying to get the little, there it is.
What does the experts show us? I'm kind of, I don't know anything about all these. I know a couple of different tabs on there, what they do, but what does experts show us?
Expert shows us the log from the alerts, like all the alerts that show up. So,
okay, cool.
So, because the way the Arrow works is it sends push notifications to your phone for the alert that gets generated, or it shows up as a pop-up here. But if you click OK, the pop-up disappears. So if it disappears, then you don't know what the alert was for.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So I'm having a really hard time bringing this up a bit. Okay, there it is. That's all I wanted to do. So here's all the alerts.
Okay.
So what I did was at 12:30 server time, because it's based on wherever the location of your of your broker is. So in this case, it's 1 p.m. wherever the location of NVFX is. So
They're 5 hours ahead of us.
exactly. It's probably somewhere in London, whatever. Right now, so this alert has been gone for half an hour. I can still go look at it. So that's the pound Swiss. So first what I did is pound Swiss. And actually, I'll use a different chart and I'll pretend like I never saw it. I don't do any markups on Oanda, so this one's going to be clean. There we go. So what I did is I go to the 30-minute. I'm going to draw a line at the time of the alert so I don't lose myself, right? Mm-hmm. In this case, we said it was about an hour ago. Was it? Half an hour ago, sorry. Yeah, half an hour ago. So we're looking about here.
Okay.
Somewhere here. Anyway, what I did is I drew a wedge. So I drew a wedge. I waited for it to break, and then I took the trade.
And now are you taking it according to the rules of 40 pip stop loss, 20 pip?
Not specifically.
Okay.
So I'm actually using the wedge as my money management.
Okay.
So in this case, my stop loss, I have 2 stop losses. I have my manual stop loss that's on this line. Mm-hmm. And then I have my emergency stop loss, which is here. So now that we did this one, I can show you exactly GBP CHF. This is the markup that I had.
Okay.
So I didn't want to show it first.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show another screen. So yeah. This is exactly what I did. Here's my entry. Mm-hmm. I took it at the break as soon as I saw it break. And then my stick is based on this width. So my first take profit would be 50% of the length of the stick.
Okay.
And then the second one is the full length of the stick. So, but right now we would be potentially going into no man's land.
Yeah.
So that's why I like TP1 for this one. And I just put it there. So we'll see what happens. It's coming back up and it's retesting the bottom of the wedge. Mm-hmm. So now we can go back to a lower time frame. You see, it broke, came out, and it's testing. So this is gone. This is about it. It went about 15 pips from the break, but my take profit was 25 or so. Mm-hmm. So I didn't exit. I was content with that. There might be an opportunity for another entry if it tags here, but I'm using very low lot size. So same story with the CAD CHF. So I did that one earlier as well. Same story. So drew the wedge on the 30-minute, waited for the break. Here's where the alert came, and entry was here. Now it's coming back up, and it could potentially retest the bottom of the trend line. If it breaks into the trend line, I'll be out of the trade. This would be my take profit 1, mm-hmm. where it's, and take profit 2. So that would be from the width of here to there. Okay. And I just threw that right there. Doing this, I won yesterday 8 out of 9 trades. During the New York session, mm-hmm. I won 8 out of 8. And in the Asian session, I took a trade which I shouldn't have. So I got a little excited.
Still good odds, boy.
It's really good. Understanding that trading is risky and everything, it had my account up 13%.
Oh, wow, that's good.
Yeah. So we're going to see what happens here. I'm just waiting for any type of alert on Arrow. Okay, let's see.
How often, generally speaking, do the alerts come through?
Every half hour.
Oh, every half hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there can be multiple.
And what is that based on? Is that based on candles closing, like that it's specifically?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I put it on the 30-minute chart.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I see. Okay.
So if I put it on the 15-minute chart, I'm going to get an alert every 15 minutes. But because of what I'm doing specifically with the wedges and stuff, I wanted to go a little bit bigger with the 30-minute alerts, because the 30-minute 62 is kind of where I like to hold things. So let's throw one more thing into the equation, okay? So here's the 1362 cross. So here's where it crosses and it moved up.
Mm-hmm.
Here, we're about to cross again. But I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what's going to happen here. Where's this one? Pound Swiss.
Just excuse me for a minute, Matt. I'm going to be right.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You're fine. So pound Swiss, you had the 513.62 cross right here. And then you're going to have a sell bias. So you're only going to want to take sells until it crosses again. So looking at the whole picture, I was not going to take a buy here. I was only going to take a sell once it broke out of the wedge and came and retested. So with my emergency stop loss at the top there, I'm pretty well out of the way. So I'm not concerned about this pullback. I'm just waiting to see if we get any other trade alerts in the next little bit. So here's our wonderful arrow. And then we got about 16 minutes until potentially the next trade alert is going to be generated. But we won't know until a little bit. This is longer term trading. This is not scalping anymore, because we're looking for some pretty decent pips. To give you an idea, this break here is 29 pips. In this case, where my lot size calculation was based on, we're a little bit less than 1-to-1. So we're looking to potentially make about 2% of your trading account in this one trade. At TP1, at TP2, it would be 4% if you put 2% risk into your stop loss. In this case, it ended up being 35 pips. So a 35 pip stop loss. It's a little fat, to be honest. But what I'm looking at is, this is my manual stop loss. This is where I'm going to take myself out manually. So if I actually do lose, I'm not losing that whole run. I'm just losing a small portion. Like a fraction of a percent, literally. So it's so minimal. And that's how you can get in a lot tighter with these wedges. The emergency stop loss is only there in the unlikely scenario where something happens and the pound just skyrockets. Because I've seen that happen. I've seen the candles that are very significant and they just go. So here's the 513.62 cross, or the 1362 cross at the 15-minute level. And then you had the break out of the wedge. You had a retest of the wedge. So we went right back up to the entry. So now we're going to see what's going to happen.
Is this the original one you showed, or is this another one now?
This is pound Swiss. And then we had the CAD Swiss. This is not a currency pair I trade at all generally. Mm-hmm. And I actually had to go add it to my list. So here we had the cross, and then we had the break out of the wedge. We had a small little wedge at the lower time frame.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really pay too much attention to. So now we just let it play out until we get another wedge alert at this time.
Hey, Pedro, good to see you. Happy New Year.
Oh, wow. Great to see him. Great to see Leslie as well. Let me see. I'm just gonna okay. Just got a couple messages there. Just looking. So basically we're just waiting for another alert, or waiting for this thing to materialize. What were you about to say?
I was just going to say, is Al on his way home? Or is he going to be able to make it into the room at all today?
I don't think so. I think he's gonna travel. He's got like a 4 or 5 hour drive, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Okay.
Yeah, he's going back home from Atlanta to North Carolina, I think it is, or something.
He's in North Carolina. He lives in North Carolina, but right now he's in Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. I thought it was Atlanta. Oh, Atlanta, yeah.
Yeah, Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. Okay, yeah.
That's where one of his daughters lives.
Yeah.
So Pedro's saying it's been crazy. Haven't had a chance to log in. Yeah, we hear you. It's been a crazy season, hasn't it?
It's really been special. It's really been special.
That's a good word.
I've had my coffee this morning, and I am just excited to go. I'm just checking this out. Yeah, I was just stunned that I was able to get that kind of percentage in a couple trades, and very, very quick setup, right? Like nothing rocket science, just 30-minute, draw the trend lines and let it go.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to work 100% of the time, and that's not expected. I'll be honest, I think I got lucky getting 8 out of 8 and taking that trade from the Asian session. I'm trying to find a way for people to be able to trade when they can't specifically trade the London New York session, because either they're working or they got kids to take care of. Mm-hmm. This might be able to work at any time because you're holding trades for quite a while. Like some of the trades that I've taken with this, contrary to some of the trades that we've taken with AIRIS, which we're in and out in 20 minutes, these ones can take a whole day to materialize.
So you would consider this more of a swing trading?
Yeah,
strategy.
more or less.
Mhm.
More or less. It's definitely not scalping. We're not taking little pieces. We're looking for bigger moves, more or less. But this is once you have it set and you put your take profit and stop loss. I didn't touch those trades.
Mhm.
Those other trades that I took, I didn't touch them. And 5 of them hit their take profit point, and 3 of them I closed out manually in profit.
That's good.
So I didn't go back and check, which I'm going to go back later and see how far it would have went into profit if I just leave it alone. But I kind of like the some of those trades were like 30 pips in profit.
Yeah.
So it's kind of at this point I don't want to leave that money on the table. 30 pips in profit is pretty significant.
Yeah.
Like if people can get to the point where they realize that if you make 1% a day, you're a phenomenal trader. You're literally within the top 3% of all Forex traders. If you can consistently make 1% a day, make 5% a week, and say 20-some% a month, that's a great realistic goal.
Yeah.
And I believe with all my heart that Arrow and this system can do that. Now I'm going to put the disclaimer out there. This is still just adventuring because I'm just looking for trade setups. Just
Yeah.
doing the wedges, but using Arrow as my notification to go check a certain currency pair. Sorry, I had to drink more water.
No need to explain. Go ahead. Do what you got to do.
Yeah, thirsty. Let's see here. So we got about 7 minutes before we could get another alert or two. And because it's scanning all 25 currency pairs, I don't really have to worry about it too much. So we're going to have a little bit of action coming up. And then you'll see a little bit of the analysis that that I've been doing when I get those alerts. I am looking at the at Arrow for the potential support and resistance zones. So on Arrow, there is. So I'll bring up CAD CHF. So there's a big resistance zone here and a resistance zone here, and CAD CHF set a sell. So you had your red, your arrow, and then that was a clean sell. That was a good trade. And then based on one of the strategies for arrow, if you get into this zone, you would exit the trade. Well, from here to there, you're already in your take profit. Yeah. So you see you got your green, your red, then you're good to take this up to here, and then you would potentially exit. This is 68.92. So 68.92 is right here. Where that green zone is, where you don't want to go to. So instead of taking the full stick, what I did is I took 50% of the stick, which gave me a little bit of room. It put me into this zone here, which is probably going to have some trouble to get through. Mm-hmm. So
again, sometimes less is more.
Oh, for sure.
Bank it and don't worry about the rest for the most part.
No, not at all. especially since there's so many that come. You're about to see if everything plays out accordingly. I haven't checked for news, so I'm excited to see how this is going to do for news. Forex Factory. All right. Because we're trading multiple pairs, I am just looking for the pound. Ooh. And then you got FOMC.
That's today. Okay.
Yeah, this is gonna move.
Okay, the pound, yeah.
Yeah, pound's gonna move. Bank of England talks, it's gonna be a big deal. So it would be pretty wise to stay away from the British pound, at least until about 10 o'clock, until after the announcements are done and the move has been complete. Anywhere from half an hour to an hour after the after red folder news, the market's kind of done what it was going to do in the first place.
Yeah, so I'm looking very forward to taking the 2-week trial on this weekend. I'm going to sign up for it, and I'm going to give it a shot.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. I think I've been trading a while and I haven't seen anything as well consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Just like and it gives a lot of alerts. So 3 more minutes and then I will keep this right here so everyone can see what's going on. So scanning all 27 currency pair or 25 currency pairs. So all the majors and the crosses. I'm not doing any exotic currency pairs. I don't like the spread on them. They're too big as a general rule, but this can work on anything. So it can also work on Bitcoin, on indices, metals, even options, even stocks. Just
basically anything that has a chart, you can use
anything that has a chart, the strategy is going to work.
Yeah.
Arrow will work with it. And there's a lot more to come with it.
Yesterday when I was watching the video,
yeah,
Nathan's video, he only uses like 10 pairs.
Yep.
And then of course gold and the S&P, I believe it is.
Yes.
So he only uses the British pairs and 4 of the euro.
4 of the euro pairs, yeah.
Yeah. So, but you're using more.
Yes.
Like you're using everything, right? So
I'm using everything.
Okay.
Because I wanted a very big sample size for what I'm testing, what I'm working on. And so far I really like the results. So, but by doing it on all the currency pairs at a little higher time frame, I can get the required movement to hit the target. He likes the currency pairs that have a very high average daily range, so that they move significantly, like the pound yen, the British CAD, British Swiss, GBP USD, just all the pound just really likes to move, let's put it that way. All right, so I've got one alert, the pound yen. So we got pound yen 30-minute buy. So I'm going to click OK. I'm going to go look on here. Pound yen right here. I'm going to maximize it. I'm going to take a look. It says buy. So you got a green zone, a green zone, a green zone, a green zone, and then a big fat red zone. So there's enough room here to take that trade based on this criteria. So this could be a good trade. So let's go check pound yen. Pound yen. here we go. So we got 513.62 cross, which gives me a buy bias. So I kind of want to focus on a buy, even though this trend is down. So I'm going to start on the 30-minute. I'm going to take a quick peek and see what we can find. I'm going to shrink that a little bit. So I'm not a big fan. Hold on.
So now why are you cutting through the...
Oh, it's because I'm just looking for this wedge first.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I was looking for this wedge. I'm not looking for like the wedge alert. I'm just looking for like how price was respecting. So a little bit different. You see it barely would have hit that break. So that means this could be a retest of this trend line. And I think this is the only, yeah, see that? This is a nice trend line. Yes, I get a break slice, but I got a touch here, a touch here, a touch here, a touch here, and a touch, and a touch.
Okay, so another question arises. I'm wondering, because I know when Al does his trend lines,
yep,
his touches are all coming from the same direction. So he wouldn't count the candles, let's say, to the north of that line along
I know what you mean.
The south of it. So is it I know you're the king of trend lines. So
all right. So I'll kind of explain why I count it as a tag. So here when it tags it specifically, that's a point of resistance, I guess, or whatever, support resistance. But once a line does something like it becomes resistance and then it becomes support, that means this trend line is really strong. So here it was kind of support. Here it was a resistance.
Mm-hmm.
And then until here, now it becomes support again. So it's kind of slicing the whole chart.
So it's along the same lines as the blue line on the Fibos, right? It could be support or resistance at that point.
Exactly.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So when it comes from both ends like this, it's actually a stronger trend line.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something I would trust more. Like, for example, here, and we're on a 30-minute chart, so it's going to look a little bit different when we go down to the lower time frame and kind of adjust it a little bit. So if I kind of do something like this, it's going to look a little bit cleaner. So here's another little bonus here. You got 1 bounce, 2 bounce, 3 bounce. On that 3rd bounce, you can take the trade. On a trend line, on a solid trend line like this, a really good trend line, you can take the 3rd bounce on a trend line. It's a pretty high probability trade.
Yeah.
So bounce, 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 trade.
And what was that before it came to reverse and touch it again? That was like 20 pips or so, right? Let's see.
Yeah.
From that 3rd bounce up.
Oh yeah, that would be
been like a 20 pip move. Is that
right here?
Yeah, yeah. From there to till before it turns around and comes back.
Yeah, exactly. So your 25 pips, it comes up here, but from the break, you've got.
Yeah, that's good. That's like 50 pips, right? More.
Yeah, 32. So if you drew your stick, you're going to find out a lot more about the stick because it's going to come into play a lot. You put the stick right there, that's your take profit.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to hit that 75% of the time.
Yeah. That's like
So
35 pips, pretty much 30 pips.
yeah,
Anyways, let's say a good 30 pips. That's
yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah. So, and then depending, I'm not taking this trade, but you can take potentially a second entry here once it bounces off of this trend line. Why? Because we know this is a good trend line. So when it comes down and tags it like that, that's pretty, there's something to it. Now, let's get back to the pound yen trade that said we were in a buy. We could be buying up to 141.01. So 141, yeah. So 141, let's put a line here so we can see it. 141.01 up to here.
Mhm.
That's where that that red box is. It's up here.
Okay.
It's based on this high here. So basically you got from here all the way up to there. So this is 96 pips, but that's from that line. So now we're going to get to something fun. Okay. This is where we can have some magic. So I'm going to try something. And then I'll just take the trade first. And then I will explain what I did. And this is still only demo for now because I'm still working on this strategy here. So the pound yen, I haven't seen in the 4 years of trading the Forex extensively getting lucky 8 times in a row. You know, I haven't seen that, especially on different currency pairs and different directions.
Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty awesome that you did that.
So I do believe there is something there. So let's do pound yen. I have to add it. Hold on. GBP. I'm on my phone. JPY. So we're going to do pound yen. And for a stop loss, I'm going to use, so in this scenario, this is going to be my stop. It's going to be tighter than the 40 pips because I trust this trend line. It's basically going to be 1 pip. It's going to be spread on the other side of this trend line here. So if I put here, pound yen buy, let's do this real quick here. Long. So here's my fill. I don't know where. What's that? 20 pips? Yeah. So 20 pip stop loss. Modify order. And when these alerts come up, I found that you got to be pretty quick because it breaks quick. I lost it. Hold on. Here we go. So stop loss 140. 140. And I have it like this because maybe later on I'll slide it up a little bit, 5 pips, but I'm not going to let it cross this line. Not really required. It just limits your risk.
Yeah.
In the trade. You're going to get to a point where you're in a risk-free trade. And that's the kind of trading that I like. So 1-4, what does it say? 0-1. Let's do 0-1. I don't like rounded numbers. I don't know. I just try to avoid them like the plague. So I'll put 0.1 or 0.2 instead of 0.0. Or I'll put 139.99 or 0.98. Just depends. I just don't like rounded numbers when I have my stop loss and take profit. And then let's send our target. In this case, this will be interesting because I don't know what to use as a target, to be honest. Let's see how close this gets to. So here's the break. I'd have to put it at the break. This is the next zone. Mm-hmm. Strategy number 1 is go for 20 pips. So 20 to 20. I still like this zone better. So even if there's a little bit of speculation here. So what I did is I would take that stick. It's 60 pips long. I would divide it in 2. So by dividing it in 2, it has a higher probability of reaching that target right here.
It's pretty much your other stick, really.
Yeah. So the likelihood that it comes up and tags there again is fairly good. Mm-hmm. But there's another, I think this is one of the strategies. You can take the whole swing. It's just this is higher probability than it going way up there. And that's still going to put 2% in your trading account. Where this would put potentially, if you risk 2%, you put 2% into a 20 pip stop loss, and you would go 80 pips. So you're looking at 4 times 2. So yeah, you're making 1% for every 10 pips you make. So you're 8% of your trading account.
Yeah.
And that's a trade that you just pretty much let it go. And as you decide later on in the day, you can come by and just push your stop loss up once it takes off. But the bias here is a buy because of the 1362 cross here. So still experimenting. Nothing's really set in stone. So, but you'll see how the 1362 really controls the direction. On the 30-minute chart, it's just fantastic. You see, your cross, boom, cross, boom, cross, boom, cross, boom. So now
it's available to us all.
That one, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a super simple indicator. So you see, cross, boom, cross, up. See, you're still in a buy bias all the way up until finally here. And then it switches. I just find with the green and the red highlighted like that, it just makes life a lot easier because it gives it a strong visual representation of what is actually there. So pound Swiss, let's go check. Pound Swiss is in profit. See how it came back and it tested here, and now it's coming down. So we'll see if it hits the take profit point. I almost want to slide it up a little bit to here. So maybe I'll put 1924. Just because of the overall price action on that of this one here. We're still looking for, you see, you got your sell bias, so you're only going to want to take sells. You're not going to want to take buys. Here, you're only going to want to take buys. You see, you cross sell until it crosses again, and then you buy. Let's see. Welcome. So I see we've got someone new in the room that I haven't seen before. So welcome. We're just doing some technical analysis using Arrow, the new product from Auvoria Prime. Because right now, AIRIS, I'm not getting any wedge alerts. So instead of just canceling the session, I'm going to be trading anyway. So why not? Oh, 1362 indicator. Very easy. Let's go check that. So all you need to do is in your indicators up here, you're going to look for 5, 13, and 1362. So it's actually found in the public library. So you're going to type 5, 13. So you go public library, 5, 13. And then you see here, someone's got 5, 13, 50, 144, and 20, which these are also. This is interesting. I've never searched this, but someone.
So that's the one you have there with the clouds. Is that right?
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's just this one. It's not the clouds. I just wanted to see who this guy was because there's only.
All right, let's satisfy Pedro's question first.
Good point. Good point. I don't want to get lost on track. Lost, whatever. But here. This is basically it here. Here, let's do a brand new fresh chart. So pretending like I have nothing on my charts. Just this volume thing, which is junk. I go indicators. I put 13. I could do 5, 13, and 1362 zone. The FX coach, you can put a star next to it. And you click on it. That's all. Auto plots, and it automatically adjusts to the time frame in which you have it on. So 30-minute is the middle of the road. It tends to work really good on the 30-minute specifically.
So you don't have to do anything in settings or anything. It just comes up this way and it's done.
Pretty much. Oh yeah, there's one setting. So you got either you do 513 or 1362. So if you go 1362, you're gonna have more. You have bigger lines, which is what you kind of want. I think I messed up my entry on pound Swiss. Pound Swiss. Pound yen. I need to find out what happened. Because it looks like it's. Oh, yeah, I didn't do that right at all. My take profit was in. Anyway, give me a sec. Pound yen. Let's close this down. Leave. Pound yen. Did I mistype something? I think. Oh, I did. I did. here's where I wanted to put it. 14034, and I actually typed in 14019. Hold on a second. 19. I don't know. I don't know how I did that. Oh well. I'm thinking it was a typo.
Is your drawing correct though?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay.
Yeah, it is. It's a typo.
Yeah.
Because it closed the trade at my take profit at -2 pips. So I basically lost 2 pips on that whole trade, even though it hit my take profit, which means that my take profit, I must have had a key error.
Yeah.
Because it never hit the take profit that I wanted. I wanted
That's okay. We can still watch this though, because as long as it does what it's supposed to for the purposes of education.
Yeah, exactly.
Then that's good.
Because you see, we still have on the 15-minute, it's pretty good for the whole moving not whole moving average, 513.62.
Yeah.
So here's your sell. You're going into your wedge, which is your corrective pattern, and you got your 1362 cross, and then it moves up and it breaks the wedge. This trend line I really trust, so I'd be surprised if it comes down and then breaks this trend line, because my stop loss was right, my take profit wasn't. So 8 minutes before we get to the 9 o'clock hour, which is the exact same time that we're going to get this monster move with the pound. So we'll see what's going to happen. Anytime the governor of the Bank of England speaks, the pound just moves.
Yeah, it does.
Yep. It moves more than usual, which can scare some people. But when you have your stuff set up, it's not so bad. Now understand that I am deviating from any of the strategies that are currently officially taught with Arrow. So if you haven't even looked at Arrow or anything, probably best to take a look at some of the videos first and
this one
grasp.
seems a little bit more advanced, I think.
It is, yeah, it is.
Okay.
It is.
Poor Kingsley.
Oh, Kingsley.
We might have to go back to.
Yeah, let's do some other stuff while we're waiting for this to play out, or until we get some new alerts. So, Kingsley, let me know kind of a little bit about like how long have you been trading, or like would you say that you're brand new to trading, or you've taken a couple demo trades, or just so I can have an idea of how to frame it. Excuse me. Let's take a look and see. So CAD Swiss is not going so great. But the pound Swiss is going nicely. So let's take a look. All right. So on the next alert, what we'll do is we'll take it nice and slow, Kingsley, so I can kind of draw it up and show you what I was looking at and where a potential trade could be made.
Is there, you don't happen to have one set up with just like on the regular 15, like Nathan's?
Oh yeah, you know what? I can.
That's probably the best thing to show beginners because it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I think that's good. I almost want to have another one running with just the 15-minute.
Okay, so Kingsley's saying he wants to be nurtured properly before he purchases the Arrow, although he has been watching videos. So I think we need to go back and do just the, like Nathan's first strategy number, for example, pretty straightforward.
Yeah, very, very.
And it's got a high profitability rate. So we might have to, you know, for those that are beginners, I think that's the best way to go.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would agree 110%. So let's go just a little bit. You know what? Let me try something. I'm going to open up another MetaTrader 4 with Arrow on it, and then I'll load the currency pairs. Let me see. Here. I'm going to make a new account. Oh, actually, I don't need to. I'll just use the same account. Give me just a second. Yeah, I'll set one up with the basics here.
Yeah, good idea.
Because it's so new, it's good to start with the foundation.
Yeah, like even for me, never mind.
Yeah.
You know, I've never
so
used
the pound yen, check that. It's back into the wedge. If it breaks here, that'll be interesting.
Kingsley is asking, is Iris different from Arrow? And
yes,
it is. Yes, it is. You'll see when Matt shows you his chart with the arrow on it. I assume you've used Iris or know about it, and it's basically an alert telling you when wedges are forming, and it's the different strategies in wedge trading. I think you probably know that already, whereas Arrow seems to be a little bit more, it's not as subjective as Iris can be. It's very objective. It's very practical. If this happens, this is what you do. If that happens, this is what you do. And that's the simplification and the beauty of Arrow compared to Iris, I believe. For me,
yes.
Anyways, yes. It's basically the different strategies have the plans made up for you. So, you know, some of us struggle with making our trading plans and stuff. I think the Arrow tends to have like all the different strategies that Nathan has put out there, and now
and he vetted them, and they're simple.
Exactly,
like they're really simple.
Yeah.
Let me go check something right now. I'm just trying to log into my other trade account.
As a matter of fact, I'm going to be doing a trial on it. So I'm going to be signing up for the 14-day trial Kingsley this weekend. And I'm going to be trying Arrow out myself as opposed to just, watching it be done. And I'm pretty excited about it, to be honest with you.
I got four alerts. They're all cells. So
can you show us your screen, Matt,
yeah,
so that we can see what you're looking at?
Yeah. I don't have them on so I just took profit on one of the trades there. It hit the take profit target. So pound yen, it came up as a short again. Pound yen was a short here. Sorry, it was a long. My bad. But pound US says it's short as well. So
okay, but this is using your strategy, right?
Yeah, I need to load the I've been trying to get the what is it, that not the broker account, my trading account loaded.
Okay.
On the other one. I didn't have a chance yet. So let's just put something together. It's not going to matter.
Okay, we may not want to see this though.
Oh, it's just a demo, so
okay,
it's not a big deal.
Okay.
ts.forex@gmail.com. And then I don't know. Let's try that. Oh yeah, I have to subscribe. So whatever. Finish. Cool. So now let's set these up because I wanted to take those 4 trades, but let's focus on the session first. So here you're gonna want to put 15-minute charts, right? So 15-minute, 15-minute, 15-minute. Okay. The next thing that someone wants to do.
You put a 5-minute on the UJ.
Oh, good catch. So let's first off, let's fix the currency pairs. So this is not one of the recommended ones. This is not one of the recommended ones, and this is not. So we're gonna do view. We're gonna go into symbols, and we're gonna clean them up. So we're gonna get rid of all of these. So pound US is the only major that we're gonna do. The rest of them are crosses. I forget what euro pairs. Do you know off the top of your head?
Off
I know
the top of my head, Euro GBP for sure.
Euro JP. No.
I think it was Euro Yen. But I you know what? And Euro Aussie. It was. I don't remember the Euro pairs.
Okay.
All I know is it's all the GBP pairs.
Yeah, I know that. Because that would make sense to me.
Yeah.
This looks right. It looks right to me. So let's.
Except for the Kiwi Yen.
Yeah, you're right. Kiwi Yen. Let's get. Anyway, maybe we'll clean that up after. So EG. And then all you do is you take arrow, drag it on the charts, hit your allow inputs, leave all that there, colors, you leave all that, whatever, click OK, and it's going to plot. And that's all. And then you wait for the alert to come. So pound Swiss, you're going to do the same thing. Indicators, arrow, slide it over. I don't know if you have to hit all of these three. I just always did it. And then you switch your time frame to 15. Pound yen, 15. Drag arrow over. Click these. Put it there.
But is it up? Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's all there.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
Now EJ, we're going to put that here. 15. And for the sake of this session, we'll go back and we'll look at those trades. Might be an opportunity to enter them after all, but we'll see. As a general rule, I don't like trading the. Oh, I've got an alert on CAD Swiss. I'm just gonna check real quick what's going on here. Just a sec. It's back into the wedge. Looks like it's gonna give us a head fake. This is the manual stop loss that I entered, so I should be considering closing out that trade. Anyway, we'll finish this first. See, it's on Euro AUD. 15, Arrow version 2. GCAD. And then I'll show you a couple little tricks with MetaTrader 4. I don't like MetaTrader 4 per se. I find it kind of antiquated and slow and resource hungry. So I do all of my analysis on TradingView. Here, let's do that here. And pound US. Okay, I guess it's on the 15 and everything. So let's just, you hit this button, it automatically aligns all the currency pairs and puts it on your chart. So at 9:15, we should get a pop-up for a 15-minute alert. Oh, I'm missing at least 3 currency pairs because they're supposed to be 10. So GU. Oh, pound Kiwi. So you see, it's a very strong downtrend with the pound Kiwi. So at least on the 15-minute time frame. So who else are we missing? Pound AUD. No, yes, missing that one too. I don't know what happened to it. So switching the time frame to the 15-minute. Auto trading. I forgot to turn auto trading on. Even though it's not an auto trader, for some reason it needs, auto trading has to be turned on, or at least it hasn't worked if auto trading's not on. I think it has something to do with the software validation. And then what else are we looking for? GCAD. Yeah. Euro AUD.
New Zealand. Oh, it's on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think you got them
Euro
all.
yen.
2, 3,
Yeah.
5, 6.
I
Okay.
don't know. This is probably not one of them. Euro NZD. Okay. Well, we'll put it anyway. Whatever. It might not be one of the pairs since it's but I know there's 4 euro pairs. So here, you see that arrow here? It says it basically means buy, but you're not going to buy because one, you are in the money zone, but two, you got this big red zone here, which means that you're only going to want to go for sells. So there's no trade here. This would have been a valid trade right here at whatever time this was, but you're going to get a pop-up when this red arrow, when this arrow pops up. That's the whole thing, is that the first entry is the first strategy is called, well, just bounce arrow go. So you get a bounce off of a resistance zone, you got an arrow in your direction, and then you take the trade. That's as simple as that. That's the whole thing in a nutshell. And some people, 16-year-old kid was able to have his first $3,000 week last week, just trading something so simple. So, not rocket science. Just takes practice. Where's EJ? Yeah, okay. So now I should get notifications for this one. Let's go check this one now. This one's getting some heat. Well, that's fine. So let's go check experts and go see. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4 alerts. So pound US, pound yen, and pound CAD. I'm not sure why I'm getting 2 pound CAD. Might mean I have, yeah, okay. I had that currency pair on there twice. It didn't make sense. It wasn't going to give me 2 alerts like that. Oh, you have your hand up, Kingsley. Let me check something. Let me push this over here. So pound US. Let's go check that real quick. Just because I'm waiting for a new alert from the 15-minute setup that we had. Holy smokes. That's a big move. That's a really big move. So let's pretend that that move didn't happen just for a minute and go see what it would have looked like when we got the alert. So the alert was officially at the 9 o'clock hour, which would have been here. Is it? That's when the news announcement was and everything melted. So you got a 513, you got a 1362 cross, and now you're looking for sells. I'm just going to do my little thing real quick. And then as soon as we get a 15-minute alert, we'll go and we'll check that. Oh, actually, we might have had one. No. We had no alert at that time. Okay, so we'll continue with this until we get an alert on the 15-minute setup. This is just the 30-minute setup for now. So all I'm doing is drawing a wedge. So 30-minute wedge. Might still be an opportunity to enter that trade for a short. So let me go see something. So if I had pound US. So you got pound US short. You got the arrow to go down. You got a red zone at the top, but your green zone is right here. So officially, based on some of the strategies, there's no trade here because there's not enough room. If you would have entered right at the time of the alert, you could have potentially made your 20 pips. But you'd have to be right on the ball. And unfortunately, I wasn't, so. So there's still 12 minutes before the market opens here. New York session's going to open pretty soon. Just doing something on another screen there. So the pound Swiss was worth 25 pips or so. Right now, sitting in drawdown on the CAD Swiss of 10 pips. But our stop is kind of out of the way. This is going to disqualify this sell because there's too many green zones here. So I don't want to go against that at all. There's a lot of trades in the Forex, and some of them you just don't want to take. This is an interesting one, the pound yen. I'm very curious to see why it had a buy and then it had a sell right away. So this one didn't work out for me. It may have, if I would have put the right the right take profit, but I put my wrong take profit. So see, that's 50 pips from the break, and then it reversed. If I would have put a 25 pip take profit, so which was the stick from here to there, and I put it right here, we would have had, so we had a buy bias, so it was green. We had the 1362 cross to the upside, and then we put the stick. The stick, I drew it just from the bottom to the top of the trend line, and then I put it at the break. So once it breaks, you can either take that trade, or you could even take this trade and that trade. It all depends on what a person wants to do here. $9.22. Just going to take CAD Swiss real quick. As soon as we get another alert, Kingsley, we'll take a look at something fresh, and I won't do anything fancy. We'll just do strategy 1. Now we're just waiting for paint to dry. Another 8 minutes before the New York session opens for the day. And then we're going to have a pretty nice move. But you see, this is a great example, Ava, of the trend line where it was resistance, support, and then it became resistance, and then resistance. But here, this concerns me because it kind of, it breached, it came back, it checked it. Now I'm expecting it to go down. If it doesn't go down, then I'm going to consider deleting this trend line because it may no longer be valid anymore.
Yeah.
Because you don't want all your candles to be going through the trend line. You want it to respect the trend line. This right now, this is fine because on a higher time frame, that's actually, check this. It's a bounce. So you got a bounce and then it comes in. It's not doesn't invalidate the trend line yet.
Yeah.
Let me see. So you got your sell bias, right? You got your 1362 cross right here, and then you break the wedge. So you're only going to want to look for a sell. And based on the alert that we received for CAD Swiss, it was a sell. Here's my, so the only difference here is I have a manual stop loss and I have an emergency stop loss. Now the manual stop loss is where I have an alert set, and that's the alert that I received when I went and looked, is, hey, go check it because it's crossing this line and you may want to close your trade. If I did close out the trade there, I would have lost about 0.3% of my trading account. Up here, I would have lost about 2%. I don't want to go there. But I saw enough confirmation for it to come to the downside. So in reality, my risk is somewhere here, but my position size is calculated based on based on like a 25 pip or 20 or 30 pip stop loss. Let me see here. I got one of the other educators just sending me a message.
How long is our session today, Matt?
I am comfortable going until 10, and then after that we'll just turn it down, I think, unless there's something else that we get for now.
Okay.
I just want to show Kingsley an example of the 15-minute chart.
Yeah.
And then we can.
I'd like to see it as well. I'm
yeah.
trying to find out what the euro pairs are, but I'm having a bit of difficulty.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good note. That's a really good note.
I'll let you know. I'm just going through stuff trying to figure out what they are, just so that we have the proper pairs up for the euro. But it's not that simple.
Yeah. Let's see. We got 2 minutes until the New York session opens.
Yep, let's see what it's going to do.
Let's see. Let's see. All right, 9:30. Let's go check something. Got UJ. Oh, there it is. Someone just sent me a message, said UJ sell. I said, I don't know. I didn't get no. Oh. No. I didn't get any alert for that. Here. I think I got a pop-up. I think we got lucky. Hold on. No trade.
No trade?
No, nothing yet. So we're gonna have to wait another 15 minutes.
Oh. So it's only every 15 minutes it comes up, huh? Yeah, I guess candle close, right?
It's the candles, right?
Yeah, it's a candle close.
So you're not gonna get alerts halfway through a candle. Well, I say we take a little break for, I don't know, maybe 5-10 minutes, and then we will come back and hopefully we'll be closer to an alert. Because right now the New York session is open, but I don't see a heck of a whole lot of anything to play with. All right. So we'll take a little break and we'll see you within 5 or 10 minutes or so.
All right, sounds like a plan. Go get yourself a coffee, guys, and meet back up here in a few.
That's what we'll do.
All right.
Cool. Give me just a bit. All right. Back. A minute later than expected, but I was warming up my coffee.
Okay, we got a question.
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh,
New York session.
I thought I'd
Opens
answered that one already.
Oh, you did?
Is Iris different from?
No, the did you answer the New York session
sorry.
open?
Hang on, I'm on the wrong page. No, Kingsley's saying I thought the New York session opens at 8, but it actually, when does it open? It opens at 9 for pre trading, does it not? Matt? And then 9:30 is full on, everybody's in there.
Hold on here. I'm just triple checking because you know what? Officially it's 8, but
it's pre-trading, like retailers can't trade at that time.
yeah, I think you're right. I think it's the pre-trade, like pre-market trading or whatever you want to call it.
That's it, yeah.
Let me just see this. That's a great question. And that's why I am always willing to learn new things. Okay, here we go. Pre-market trading is from 8:15 to 9:30. Now the official, that's stock trading. So if you want to talk about the stock trading session, but the official New York session for Forex starts at 8 o'clock. What we're saying when we say 9:30 is when the stock market opens for actual trading. If that makes sense.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. But that's good. It's good to know. A little bit of a distinction between them. Give me a sec. And yeah, so I think we're gonna cut it short in 19 minutes. So end it at 10 o'clock Eastern time.
Okay, that sounds good.
I think we can do that.
What time is the money zone time?
It's until 12 o'clock Central. So 12 p.m. So 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 1 a.m. Eastern to 1 p.m. Eastern. It's a 12-hour block.
Yeah. So it's basically the entire New York and London session together. So, and that's where 80 to 90% of all the volume from the Forex happens. So I can show you that very visually. If I go to the 30-minute chart and I go to EJ and so here is your here till about, I'll draw a box, okay? So basically from here till about here. That's your money zone. So from here's overnight. So you're kind of looking at this. from here till about here is going to be the end of the money zone. Something similar to that. There's actually within the tool itself, there's an option that they put, and I'll blow this one up just so you can see real good. You see this shaded area right here? That's the money zone. This is the money zone. This is the money zone. This is the money zone. So strategy number one, you must be in the money zone or else you don't take the trade. So here, you're in the downtrend. You got red block, red block. You're in the money zone. You got your arrow alert, and then you're selling. So that's great. Here, you're outside of the money zone, so you're not taking these trades. Here, you're in the money zone. You've got green block. Green block, you got a really strong support. So then you can take that trade. Here, you're outside of the money zone. You're not taking this short. This is the start of your money zone here. Could potentially take that one, but here you're taking this one. So here's your buy. No red zone here. The zones do repaint themselves, but I think that's as simple as I can make it. So basically bounce, arrow, go. Bounce on the zone, give me an arrow, and go. But you need to identify the trend, right? Like here, it's a downtrend. Here, you're in an uptrend. So you're going to want to buy here. You're going to want to sell down here. You're going to want to buy here. You don't want to be going against the trend, right? You don't want to be taking these trades and selling into that. You don't want to take this one at all. And you see it's not in the money zone. It's not in the highlighted area. And that's kind of why the higher probability trades are in the money zone. See this one here? It's not in the money zone. It's a buy, but it comes and you get some heat that could cause you a problem. But because it's not in the money zone, you don't take it. Here, you got an arrow for a buy. Then you're going to take that because it's within the money zone and you're looking for buys. Here, you don't want to take a short because of that. But I hope that kind of adds a little bit more clarification there. Kind of answers a little bit of the questions. We got 13 minutes left. Today went by really fast.
Yep, it did.
And it's not the end of the trading day either. So I got no alerts. Huh?
It's the beginning of it, really.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Doesn't feel like I've been on the charts for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But I gotta go do some parental duties there in a little bit.
I can't find on here anywhere.
What you looking for?
But I don't know where it's at, where he put the pairs on. So I'm trying to find the euro pairs. I mean, the pound pairs are easy. I know one of them for sure is the euro pound.
Oh, yeah.
The other three, I'm trying to locate them.
Well,
I can find it.
Pound yen is definitely.
Pound yen, yeah.
Yeah, but euro. I think euro AUD is in there. I'm almost certain.
I think so. I think you're right.
Because that one moves like a monster.
Yeah. So I mean, what you have there looks right.
Yeah, it could be off a little bit, but we'll see that. CAD Swiss is failing me. Check this out. I have no problem telling you when I'm wrong, because you're not going to get 100% of the shots. So this was not great. The overall setup looked all right. Now I'm halfway through my into my wedge. So I wasn't really watching this as diligently as I should have. But now it's at the point where it's almost, I still trust this line here. And the reason I trust it is because I can take this and almost drag it over here. And I'm pretty close to what that wedge is. That's off a bit, but it's off by like 5 pips. Oh, no, sorry. Significantly more. No, 5 pips. My eyes are tricking me. I think it's the second coffee. It's 2 pips. It's 2 pips away from the trend line. Good enough for me. Good enough for government work. So here we're going to want to really evaluate this, because if it breaks here, I want to be out of there. So I want to see 69. I'm going to put 69.41. I'm just going to reassess it a little bit. Oh, that is my stop loss. Okay. 69.41. So my actual stop loss is just a little bit higher right there. So it's this plus a little bit of wiggle room for spread. Spread on my broker that I'm using with CAD Swiss as a cross is only 1. So that's pretty good. 1 pip spread is not bad for a cross. Does that kind of help you a little bit, Kingsley? Does that did that kind of answer a couple questions? At least it's kind of getting you into the right direction. The videos are substantial. And like I said, Arrow is still fairly new to me. But I just saw something that it was too good not to go with. CAD Swiss doesn't move very much. It doesn't have a very high average daily range or ADR. So it might be one of those that I might eventually remove from my list. Because this one got me in trouble. Well, we've got 8 minutes left, and then if we don't get a 15-minute alert, we'll call it right away. Let me see if I can. Pretty close. All right, let's have some fun. Just while we're waiting to watch this paint dry. This is called a pitchfork. It's kind of like trend lines on steroids. Don't worry about it now, but maybe in the future we'll have an opportunity to share some things about how powerful these can be, because they hold price like no one's business. That's decent. So this is interesting. We've got a line here based on the pitchfork. We've got the take profit that's right at the line of the pitchfork here. We've got our trend line in this zone. So whatever's going to happen, if it breaks through here, I'm totally done. Not going to predict, just going to do the setup, and there we go. This bottom line here, I don't like it anymore. So it's totally okay to adjust it to something that we might like a little bit more. You could put it here. You can actually try it here too. Right? This is a little bit more valid for what we're looking for. And you see our stick. So wherever it breaks, if it breaks to the top, then it has a 75% chance to go the length of the stick. If it breaks to the bottom, then it has a 75% chance to go all the way to the stick. So we're about to see. We got 4 minutes left. But one thing to note when we like to draw our trend lines, we do not, under any circumstances, try to break candle bodies. You know, we wouldn't do something like this. Even this is not up to par for myself because I don't want to go through here. What this means is that at a lower time frame, you're cutting through price. So you can't really trust that bounce. But here, you have a better chance of trusting that. So this is a nice rejection candle, and this is a nice rejection candle. This is a great one, and this is another nice one. So it could keep on going up a little bit, and there's going to be something happening here. If it breaks out, then I'll take the loss, no problem. If it doesn't, then so here that's facing down. Now, if I try to face it, kind of adjust it a little bit more. Maybe we'll get something a little bit that we like a little bit better. Ooh. Now this makes me happy. Let me try something. And I'm just messing around as we're waiting.
Now we've got 2 minutes to go.
Good. So now you see how price kind of it held within these lines where it's not as nice as going forward, but check this. This is the right angle for this 30-minute pitchfork. It's gonna hold price for a while, one way or another. Price is gonna interact with it. You got a nice rejection here. You got a nice rejection here. It comes up, it breaches it, and it tags it again and takes off and tags it again and comes up. So this is not bad. I might actually want to, I think I saw something. I like this better. Oh, well. We got 1 minute left, guys, and we're going to see what's going to happen.
And on cue, my cat is here telling us.
Oh, just excited. We're just excited.
Any questions, anyone?
Yeah, any questions before we close out? Because I'm going to go check the arrow alerts. Where are you at here? Oh, US Swiss.
There you go.
Oh, that's the 30-minute one. We don't want that.
Oh, shoot. Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Okay, cool. GU. It gave me 2 alerts because I have it on there twice, of course. So GU, let's open it up just to do some analysis. So GU said a sell. So you've got red, red. So it bounced in that zone. You've got a green zone right here, a really strong green zone. So do you have enough room from here to there to take the trade? That's the question. You know, this is a great sell. This one, I almost concern myself with it because if it doesn't go, if it bounces here, I don't know if there's enough room to take it. So let's go see pound Swiss. Pound Swiss, is it? Pound USD. I don't know where I got that wedge from, but isn't that interesting? I don't even know where that comes from. But you've got the 1362 cross here. You've got a breach of the wedge, which you got a really strong trend line here. You've got your wedge formation. This stick comes from here. There might be a trade here. So let's go check the 15. Here's the 5-minute chart. So we're back into the wedge. So if someone wanted to take a trade here, a person would have to cover this. Oh, that's way too big. Is that right? Is that 100 pips?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is 100 pips. So if you're trading strategy 1, your stop loss is 40 pips. So 40. Hmm. 40. So 400. I think it is. Yeah. So 40 pips from entry means you won't be able to cover that. And then your 20 pips of take profit would be here. So it could be a fair trade. It could be, because your 20 would be 200 ticks. So right here. So it's already been down there once. So that makes sense. And the zone, if we go over here and we check the zone that's here, the green zone would start at 3550 or something like that, which would be somewhere here. And this is a big zone. So in all probability, it could go 3549 is where there's one of them, one of the zones. And it's just a little bit here. Somewhere here is where that box is. This big box here. This is a really strong zone. So there is enough room for your 20 pips. Actually, GBP USD. Since I'm exploring and trying to create a proof of concept, I will take this one, GU short. So I'm going to try it. So we're going to use 40 pips from 1.3577 is 1.3537. And then your 20 pip take profit is going to be, oh, since it's short, my bad. $1.3550, maybe, yeah, 50. Let's do that. I made the calculations wrong, so my math was not good. It's actually stop loss 1.3616. And then take profit 1.3550. That worked. All right. Anyway, I hope that gives a little bit more. No, Kingsley, I don't do any additional analysis really. I just use 1362 to kind of confirm. But other than that, that's all the analysis literally. I know people that just they look at it, they see where it is, they see the red zone, arrow, and then they just go. I'm not 100% confident that this is a qualified trade for strategy number 1, but this is a trade that I would be comfortable taking. But definitely review the strategies specifically by Nathan, and he will. Nathaniel. Oh man, the developer, specifically by the developer, and he goes over exactly what he sees.
Yeah, his videos are pretty good, Kingsley.
He's a great teacher. He's a great teacher, and that's actually what he does as a career.
Yeah.
So
and
he
very,
is a
very-
professor.
It's very, very straightforward what he teaches you.
And he has a
So-
great voice too. He's really enjoyable to listen to.
So yeah, so if you can check out his videos, that answers a lot of your questions. But you know, he's very good at teaching you.
Yeah, he's brilliant. All right. But I think this is all for today. I don't have anything else to share or whatnot. And I got to get going. So thank you so much for carving out some time today to be with us. We really appreciate your time, and we look forward to the future.
Yeah, thanks everybody. Hope you got a lot out of today's session, and we look forward to seeing you tomorrow.
All right. See you guys all later. And if anything else comes up, just let us know. We really appreciate you guys. Bye.